The Harris Hill Ski Jump is celebrating 100 years. 100 years of exciting, high-flying fun. We'll be telling the stories of the hill going back to the start in 1922 with Fred Harris and continuing through to the current day, regaling you with wonderful first-hand accounts and Harris Hill historians. It's the Harris Hill Story Project.
As part of the Harris Hill Story Project, we're talking with a man that entered into ski jumping at an age where most retire. He was so driven to become an Olympic athlete that he took on ski jumping just so he could wear the blue, black, red, yellow, and green rings. By now, you probably know who I'm talking about, Eddie Edwards, aka Eddie the Eagle. Eddie, welcome to the Harris Hill Story Project.
Thank you very much. And it's an honor for me to be a part of the whole thing. Thank you very much for asking.
1996, and I get that it's a stretch ask because I know at that point you were jumping a lot of small hills, constantly kind of on the tour and practicing. Can you recall any of your time on Harris Hill?
I do remember jumping there, and I remember because I've still got some posters from the Brattleboro competition. And I do remember it was a big hill. I remember that. But I do remember a guy that I was training with because the new bindings had come out that release, and he fell over because halfway through the air when he took off, his ski fell off, and he went back up and did another jump, and it fell off again. And so he decided he would quit jumping that day. So I do remember that incident at Harris Hill, and I remember I survived Harris Hill as well. And I was jumping reasonably well because I was training for the '98 Olympics, and training was going well. And I do remember the hill, but I can't remember the ins and outs of the hill and what it looked like very much. But I do remember jumping there.
Yeah. So this is not the first time you and I've met. I did point you towards a bathroom. Just so
that was very handy because I always used to get nervous, and when I get nervous, I want to pee a lot. So yeah, I made full use of the WC facilities.
Your spirit might have been just a little bit different when entering into this because you had a specific goal to become an Olympian. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's been a dream since I was about 8 years old because I used to watch the Olympics, especially the Summer Olympics on TV. And I thought it was really cool because the athletes wore Great Britain on their tracksuits, on the back of their tracksuits. And I thought that was really cool. And I wanted to be just like them. And I did loads and loads of different sports. And it wasn't until I started skiing on a school ski trip. And I thought, wow, this is such a cool sport. And I was very lucky. I had a dry ski slope nearby. And it became my home, and I was up there every night after school, all weekend, all school holidays. It was skiing, and started racing, doing slaloms, giant slalom, Super G. Raced internationally, went to America to Lake Placid to race, and ran out of money. And I saw the ski jumps and thought I'd give it a go. And that was the sport that got me to the Olympic Games in Calgary. And finally, from 8 years old, at 24, I competed at Calgary, and it was a wonderful experience and a dream come true.
Everyone thinks that you've made it when you've become an Olympian. And I've always said, I think you've made it when they've named a rule after you.
So, yes.
Can we talk about that for a second? Do you mind?
No, I don't. Unfortunately, when I went to Calgary, I had no idea that I was going to be christened Eddie the Eagle. It was given to me at Calgary Olympics. And it sort of caught everybody's imagination. It just exploded. And the International Ski Federation were having complaints from some of the other federations, like the Norwegian Ski Federation, and they were saying, we've got 50,000 Eddie the Eagles in Norway. We don't send them to the Olympic Games. But FIS then had to change the new rules, which effectively kicked me out of the sport. And they call it the Eddie the Eagle rule.
Let's spend a second talking about the film a little bit, which stars Taron Egerton and as I just referred to him as the Wolverine. There is always a bit of Hollywood flair, but it has to be rooted in some truth. So how much truth, how much Hollywood flair were we looking at in that movie?
Well, having watched the film a number of times now, I've seen the film probably about 96, 97 times. I think the film is about 85, 90% true, but it only represents about a quarter, maybe a third of my life as a ski jumper. It showed the heart and the spirit and essence of my story. It really shows the resilience and the tenacity and that never giving up spirit, which is important. And it's not only important in sports; it's important in life, in business, in academics, whatever you want to do. You know, you need that passion and that resilience to go out when people are saying don't do it, it can't be done. If you think you can do it, you go out there and give it a go. And it worked for me, and it can work for anybody else. And I think that film really shows that capability.
Eddie, I want to thank you so much for jumping on and helping us out with the Harris Hill Story Project. Uh, Absolutely delightful to talk to you. You're a delightful person,
Thank
uh,
you.
and I've really enjoyed our conversation today. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you. And good luck to Harris Hill. It's a fantastic hill. It's going from strength to strength. And who knows, one day I might just come back and ski jump there in the future.